what about writes? It sounds like these are very relatively complex indexes that you're creating. What about writes? Do you have any numbers of how much the write throughput kind of suffers? Can you update vectors in place? What are
The vector database that we built is actually index agnostic. So what I mean by that is, irrespective of what index you use, the distributed portion or the database portion itself is exactly, it remains exactly the same. And we do that using the traditional database concept of segments. Right? So we'll actually segment the data, and once your segment reaches a certain size, we will seal that. So instead of creating one huge index, right? Instead of creating, I have a billion vectors and this billion vectors is all crammed into one index, I actually create many, many small indexes. And that is what that gives me, is it fixes a lot of the underlying problems that you get with embeddings. And again, it's like a lot of detail here. I won't go too deep into it. One of the examples is domain shift. So going back to the example of German Shepherds of images, if in 2023, I'm indexing a lot of German Shepherd photos, and then in 2024, I index a lot of Golden Retriever photos. The domain of my data has shifted, right? And with segments, you sort of solve that to a certain extent. But the other thing about segments is that it enables you to build a distributed vector database, right? So if you want, you can have certain segments assigned to certain query nodes, to certain machines, and those machines will be responsible for a subset of the data, and you combine all of that. You combine the results of each of those individual machines later on.
And how and if it's not too complicated, what determines to which segment particular vector would be assigned?
Oh, it's just by time. Yeah. So as new vectors come in, these segments will grow, and they reach, let's say, 512 megabytes or 256 megabytes, some fixed number of vectors, and that segment will become sealed in milvus, right? And once you have a sealed segment, that segment is then, that segment that gets sent to an index node, and your index node will build the index across that segment. Once that index is built, it'll get sent over to the query node, or one of the query nodes, and the query nodes will then use that built index to do the query.
And what does it take to combine, because my assumption is that when you're then doing a search query, you need to somehow use those segments, like all of them, right? Or not?
Yeah, you would need to use all of them, right? Otherwise, you're essentially missing part of your database. And the typical process for this is you have multiple query nodes, and you could have multiple segments assigned to those query nodes. So, again, if my segment size is 512 megabytes, but my query nodes have 4 gigabytes of RAM each, I can assign multiple segments. I can assign 8 segments to those comfortably, right? Or again, I won't go too much into details, but that's approximately how that works. And yeah. Now that's how it works in milvus, right? So for other vector databases, for some other vector search libraries, they do just build one index across your entire database. And that minimizes the flexibility that you have to build a distributed database, simply because how are you going to divide up that index, right? We don't know. We need to know beforehand, not just what index we're using, but also the structure of the index as well. It makes things much, much harder.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe if you had I thought initially that it is segmented by centroids, but I assume that there is some process of resegmentation, like after you increase data by this percentage or so.
And the index itself lives in a single node, right? The query node.
Yeah. So one segment will live in a query node, and there's one index per segment, right? So you have the same number of indexes as you have segments.
How then do you combine the index itself together, right? Because it has to eventually contain all of the data, not all of the data, but all of the pointers to the data, because you want to do ANN through all of it. I think that's also what was Piotr's question, right? If it's distributed, how do you make sure that you kind of search for exactly what you're searching for, right?
What you do is you'll have all these segments, and you'll have segments are assigned to query nodes, and you'll have multiple query nodes as well. So if I have 4 query nodes, each query node has 4 gigabytes of memory, and each segment is 512 megabytes, for example. Again, I'm sort of simplifying things here. I can have a total of 16 segments, right? And those 16 segments we spread across my 4 query nodes, and I will use each query node will be responsible for searching across all of those segments, right? And figuring out, okay, figuring out for each segment, what are the nearest neighbors, right? So if I have a top 10, I'll find a top 10 for each segment. And then, right, I have another very, very tiny, very, very fast operation, which will go and fetch the top, let's say the top 10 out of the true top 10 out of those top 10 for each segment.
Kind of map reduce.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like map reduce.
So you're increasing total computation needed, but still return completely accurate results, right?
What's amazing about using segments is that you effectively get higher, a little bit, you do have a bit of penalty in terms of performance, but you effectively get higher recall as well, because you've essentially done, in a way, instead of just a pure top 10 across one big index, you have many, many small indexes. You do a top 10 for each small index, and then you combine the results afterward. So you effectively get a little bit higher recall, right? Again, depending on the index type they use and depending on how those indexes are constructed.